You're on your own tonight. The gallery can get a bit creepy. It's old. Things rattle. Just do a circuit every now and then and head back to reception when you're tired. If anyone tries to break in, call me. Or the police. Actually, police and then me. But you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Have a good night.
Welcome to Mernhaven's Unsolved Mysteries. Tonight, we'll be trying to solve the murder of Mernhaven's most famous artist, Mordechai Grey, brutally murdered in his loft last year, on the night of All Hallows' Eve. Grey had been painting 6 portraitures at the time. They were all suspects according to Justice Hoon, but Hoon was unable to convict any of them. Could there still be a killer on the loose? Was it Dominic Serrell, the lush burlesque dancer? Or Otto Pipistrel, our now famously cancelled ventriloquist? Or perhaps Lilith Rendell, the island's only undertaker? Grey was also painting Sunday Finch, our twinless tennis star, Xavier Hahn, the reclusive clockmaker, and finally, Vice Justice Catherine Myers. Perhaps Justice Hoon was covering up for his understudy. We have all the juicy details coming up, but before we discuss those murderous muses, let's delve into the mind of a killer by retracing their footsteps on that fateful day.
Welcome to Gallery Argenta. I'm Jamie, your jovial art museum information educator. Push my buttons and see how I respond. Better known as her alter ego, Miss Moonstruck, talented dancer Dominique Serrant regularly performs her bewitching blend of ballet and burlesque at the Moonstruck Lounge. At one time set for stardom on the West End stage, Dominique's path took an unexpected turn due to a tragic death in the family, but London's loss soon became Merle Haven's gain. As the last remaining funeral director on the island, Lilith Rendell ferries Merle Haven's souls to their final destination. Angel to the bereaved, she comforts those left behind, whilst pioneering carbon-neutral cremations and burials using compostable coffins. Otto and Pip are Merle Haven's most famous comedy duo, having secured Best Comedic Performance for 3 years running at the prestigious Golden Auk Awards. Pip also has his own solo career, which includes a best-selling children's book and a cartoon series based on the Pip is Hip universe. Professor Catherine Myers is Merle Haven's current Vice Justice, serving under Justice Hoon, and is directly responsible for maintaining criminal laws and rehabilitating offenders. She's also the mastermind behind Merle Haven Manor, the island's only penitentiary, allowing offenders to rehabilitate closer to home instead of being sent overseas. Sunday and Monday, Merle Haven's most remarkable twins, were already well known as the miracle test tube daughters of geneticists Goddard and Constance Finch. But they found fame in their own right on the tennis court, quickly becoming the world's youngest and most memorable doubles champions. Perfectionist surgeon turned clockmaker Xavier Hahn is Merle Haven's most in-demand artisan. He took a small hiatus when his mother died last year, and more recently after divorcing his wife Caroline. But his reclusiveness and rare output has made him more in demand than ever. Merle Haven is still a major fishing venue, and its shores offer plentiful supplies, enough to keep the whole island fed for years. The docks pictured here are built on the very same site the original settlers landed. Crystal balls were banned on Merle Haven in the mid-1970s, along with all paraphernalia of divination, and now only appear in painted form or behind secure enclosures for educational purposes. The triumvirate, who jointly agreed to the necessity of the new law, cited the protection of mental health as the primary reason. During an excavation of the henge in 2011, a hive of secret passageways and rooms was found running all the way to the Aurora Woods and beyond. This giant crystal ball is one of the few artifacts recovered during the dig, and due to the ban on all paraphernalia of divination, is now safely homed at Gallery Argenta. Don't try to see anything in it. That would be illegal. This was the last painting from Grey's dream period, and the last piece he worked on before the 6 portraits that preceded his death. Doorways are said to represent passages and the transition from one life to the next. Notably, Grey was recorded saying that he'd passed through a gateway through which he could not return. Steve Stewart famously transported the dead in a distinctive blue station wagon until a macabre car accident in 1992 robbed him of his life and his head. Since then, several sightings of a decapitated man driving a blue hearse have given rise to the legend of the Headless Hearseman. During the freak fish storm of 1976, the first mayor of Merlehaven was hit on the head by Majesty, breaking his neck and ending his reign for good. Some scholars believe the fish storm was caused by a Concorde flight from England, whilst others point to a more sinister ceremony near the henge. Either way, Mayor Spence sleeps with the fishes now. The fabled great auk was originally thought to be extinct when the last specimens were killed in 1844 on Eldey, off the coast of Iceland. But they reappeared in 1953 along with Merlehaven itself. Sadly, for the remaining auk, they were hunted to extinction again by the crab fishermen who settled here. Merlehaven's picture postcard lighthouse was built soon after sailors arrived on the island and was tended by lighthouse keeper Leon Noel for an incredible 53 years. After Leon's retirement in 2010, the lighthouse stopped working, and any attempts to fix it have been in vain. Mordechai Grey appeared to have a strange fascination with the building, and it appears in several of his works.
Wake up. Wake up. Oh, wake up. Yes. You see them too, don't you?
Grey's killer definitely knew him. Why? Because the crime scene had no signs of forced entry or exit, and only his coveted diamond orc figurine was missing. Just as Hoon, who was deputizing at the time, surmised the killer must have used a key. How did they get that key? Hoon had two theories. Firstly, perhaps Grey had befriended one of his subjects, or was having a romantic relationship with one, and thus had given them a key. Secondly, and more plausibly, perhaps the killer had simply found Mordechai's spare key. He kept it attached to a powerful magnet, out of sight, but easily within reach, above his doorway.
From what I can tell, the catacombs under the henge served as a safe place for the witches of Merlehaven for years. The excavation in 2011 was paid for by the Argenta family. I suppose they'd moved their stuff out by then. I'm Higgins, and I stopped questioning why or how this place existed a long time ago. I've updated the recordings with the truth for your listening pleasure. I'm Higgins, and I stopped questioning why or how this place existed a long time ago. I've updated the recordings with the truth for for your listening pleasure.